What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Twister, and that's the place where we're talking about the movies and TV shows. It's kind of like a book club, just instead of the books, we're talking about the TV shows. If you're watching something and no one is watching around you, more likely I'm watching that. So get your cup of tea, coffee, or whatever stronger you're drinking. I'm not judging because it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. Let's talk about the Silo. Second season came out. You know what is really sad? Um, that good shows, very strong writing, really interesting story that really atmospheric and keeping attention. It sometimes do not get enough attention from the wider audience. Like this episode came out yesterday. At the moment when I'm recording this, it's almost whole day pass, and it's not even the half thousand people came in and voted for this episode. This is shows for me. Of course, it doesn't mean only 492 people watched it. And I know there is so many people watching those TV shows in the different countries. They don't even know about Internet Movie Database. But I always come here just to see how much attention episode gets, how many people coming in, how many put likes, dislikes, 10 stars, 1 stars, writing review. It tells for me a lot how much uh, involvement with the audience some episode gets. And so far, this is sad for me. It's just not even 500 people. So if you're watching shows, if you like something, I do recommend just go and leave your, even if it's going to be 5 stars, even if it's going to be 3 stars or even 10, just be honest and leave it. This way, creators of TV show, they will know, okay, this is getting attention, people coming in. Of course, they get the whole numbers of how many minutes, hours have been watched from the platform. If Apple Plus making decision to extend for another season, I'm always happy. It's another TV show for the all humankind. I don't know if you watched that one. It's about the space. There is always a big time jumps between each seasons, but I love that show, and it was unfortunately as well didn't get as much attention as I would love to. And sometimes I'm telling to my friends, and they're like, "What kind of show? I never saw that one, never heard about that one." So I'm trying to promote this show as much as I can because I love Silo. They create that unique atmosphere. They doesn't have as much, maybe, uh, huge visual effects. There is not many big explosions or something like money hungry, even if you want hold this TV show based on the book, you can bring to the drama stage. You can easily play that, even like going from level to level. You just can change the number on the stage and like, okay, now you're on the top, now you all the way in the bottom. So but in the same time, this TV show created such a great atmosphere. I don't know why, but when I'm watching, I'm just get lost in the time. I'm melting with this TV show. And Rebecca Ferguson, I'm loving how she's playing. Maybe this is why I'm really subjective about this, because I really like her playing. I went to watching latest Mission Impossible just because Rebecca Ferguson. I don't like Tom Cruise, but her fight scene in the middle of the like sandstorm, love it. Also Dune, of course, she was great in there. So yeah, it's my suggestion. If you have time, just go leave some kind of review on the Internet Movie Database. I think it's always helping. So let's go through the episode, talk about different moment, what I like it, what not. I'm watching this episode on Apple Plus, and I'm watching in English, but I'm watching with Russian subtitles. I'm originally from Ukraine, but I easily speak Ukrainian, Russian, English. So Apple Plus, they gave that options. And since my main channel I'm doing in Russian, and I have the most viewers over there, and sometimes it's helpful for me watching a few languages at the same time. This way I can get like from the both ends, get some benefits. If I miss something in English, I can catch it in Russian. If I miss something in Russian, I can catch it in English. So I really like how that propaganda poster has been changed from where it's supposed to be. Thank your founders. They changed it to the F word and liars and all of that. And we see those writings everywhere. Partly, this has reminded me a TV show Fallout. I'm not sure if you watched it or not. Maybe you played computer games. There is also similar mood when the revolution inside of specific silos happening because something's going on there. Of course, there will be signs on the walls. When I look at that boy, my first thought was, of course, they released those 5 minutes footage with that flashback last week on a YouTube for free for everyone to watch. And at first I was thinking like, okay, maybe this boy it's going to be that guy named Solo. I have little cheat sheets with the names sometimes if I forget them, because as people know, or maybe you doesn't know, all of my videos I'm recording them unscripted with the one take, because I'm trying to get the most authenticity with that. It's just you will have a feeling like you came in and listening my podcast or stream or whatever. So whatever happening here, it's happening over here. So no edits. And I thought this guy is going to be Solo, the guy who we saw in the trailer, the eyes, one good and one bad eye, or he just to have two colored eyes. But later we see that boy walking out together with his dad. And the message saying generator will flood in 15 minutes. That this message tells us a lot. First of all, there is you need to go. You need to go, you need to fight, because in 15 minutes, for some reason, there will be no more electricity in the silo. And two reasons why they didn't really explain for us what exactly happening, why it get flooded. Did they broke some kind of, again, they underwater and underground, and maybe they looking for some kind of connection. Maybe they was drilling and they got into the underground river and the water start coming. We doesn't know. Or maybe that was for specific reason they wanted to make local government let them out, and that was some kind of like ultimatum. Just that's why they needed to be in the darkness. That's why they said do not use the lights and all of that stuff. So we they did not explain, was it intentional those 15 minutes or something happens. But what we do know, in a silo where Juliet came, the silo 18, let's call that silo 18, because we had the hard drive with number 18, we had the mayor with the little key pendant that glow red with the number 18. And since we know there is so many silos, that let's count the silo from where Juliet came, it's number 18. So, and we know there is a water as well, and we know there is a door. We can make a educated guess that that door lead to some kind of silo that connected. Maybe in the beginning there was a plan that all silos would be connected underground. There would be some kind of network. Again, if you're talking back to the Fallout, we know there was sometimes three silos built together and they was connected with each other. So we do not really know, but with again educated guess, we can guess that water from this neighborly silo that got flooded, water could come in and flood silo 18 as well. Hopefully they will explain more on that. At least that's my hope. If not, I guess we will be keep guessing. One moment I need to tell you guys, to be absolutely honest. Sometimes people come in and they leave in the comments spoilers without marking the spoiler. I don't really like that, because today you go and being jackass to somebody, but later one day someone going to spoil something meaningful for you. So my call for the audience and general public, maybe if even this video will watch 50 people, but still, do not leave spoilers without marking a spoiler, because someone spoiled for me what exactly killing people outside. I'm not going to say it, and just to not giving away what it is, I will just call that a curse. There is a curse outside that kills people when they get outside, and we'll keep with that. So if you hear me saying curse, but you do know what exactly is outside, what exactly killing the people when they walking out through this door, please, please, please do not spoil for others, because we have so many people who just watch TV show without reading the books. And I'm trying for myself that keep the interest for me coming for this show, trying to look for the clues, trying to figure it out what's going on. If you are knowing what's happening because you read the source, you can sit and laugh at me like, oh, look at this idiot trying to guess something when it's completely wrong. And I'm fine. I'm fine to be a clown or idiot who's making the wrong predictions. I do not feel bad about it. So, but in the same time, later, if I predict something now and it came out later, I feel good that like, oh, I saw that it's happening. And so I'm just asking, be nice. Let's not spoil for each other. And we saw they moving, the attack starting, and we hear the sheriff over here. We knows they have exactly same structure in that silo like in the silo 18. You're supposed to have someone who is in charge of police, some mayor, some kind of law worker, exactly same structure. Even the badge looks the same, the sheriff badge. So, and when he's saying make sure you keep Russell alive, I assume the Russell it's kind of same like Bernard from Silo 18. So, and they need the answers. Something happened again. He said my hand is slipped. We understand probably someone got hurt and they have no other choice like get out. The problem with this, how exactly was they getting out? I couldn't really figure it out. If they was all walking out, like in the silo 18, you're supposed to came in into special chamber. It's locked, right? One door locks, another unlock, and there is release of that gas, that cleaning gas, and after that you can walk out. And I do not understand if all 10,000 people could fit into this chamber, and when they open the main door, the door behind them closed. So again, I understand that maybe something happening in the silo already. Maybe there was no 10,000 people at that point. Maybe someone died. Maybe during the revolution, what was happening, they was fighting against each other. Some people died. We know maybe someone still got stuck in the engineering department. Maybe something happened with them there. I don't know. But by the way, this episode named Engineer, which is in the reference, of course, to the Juliet. And honestly, sometimes people like, oh my goodness, so many shows with a strong female character. uh, I don't know, in this show I didn't feel like it was being pushed on me, the whole like female lead character. Again, look, the woman power, which is, I'm a huge feminist, and so I'm fine in either way, but I really like how in this show they explain for us she was a girl who was science age of 13, learning how to fix stuff, how to put stuff together. So it's really logical for her be that kind of person. We saw she had a lot of stamina when she was fixing that generator in the silo 18, so which is absolutely fine with me, and I understand why the name of the episode engineer. So maybe there was not whole 10,000 people, but still, even if we're talking like 2,000 people, even 3,000, it's hard for me to believe all of them was able to get into this tunnel to be able lock the door behind them to unlock the main gate. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, because when Juliet came, this door was locked. So that means someone from inside, and we know there is a people inside, like Solo. Someone was supposed to be locked that gate. But if we have that curse outside, how this curse didn't get sipped in all the way to the silo if this door was not shut close before the main gate opened? So that's something mind puzzling to me. I know that visually it's looked really, really good when we see people hyped up, we want to get out, and on the one hand you kind of enjoying with them, yes, they get their freedom, it's something like people fight, but on the other hand you know what kind of destiny waits for them, and it's sweet, like bittersweet feeling, because you understand like, oh my gosh, they walking out to their death, but at least they do not kept in darkness and mystery. They find out their answer, but unfortunately they met their end really, really fast. I really like that transition. We have the flag here, and then we see exactly same flag turn. We doesn't know how many years exactly passed there. I think they're going to explain, but seeing Juliet come into this next silo, and it's really scary. I saw that little shot in the trailer. They place it really quickly, but when I was making the breakdown of the trailer, I was talking about the scene, and it's really horrific to see her walking through this like valley of the bones. It was so poetic and terrifying at the same time. It's great visuals, like living human being going through the death, through the dry bones, and when she's stepping there, she needs to step somewhere and the ground absolutely covered with the bones they crush, and it almost looks like in the Terminator. Do you remember when the T-100 was just like stepping on the top and crushing the skull? It's kind of like same feeling. And we're not going to go into the deep into the every single scene where, oh look, Juliet, she did it again. um no, it's just like this is fitting to her character. Whole episode was gave that feeling almost like you playing the Prince of Persia game, or almost like some kind of quest. I don't know if you played the game called, I think, Siberia. The girl main character, you go solve the puzzles, you need to assemble things to get from point A to the point B. It had that feeling, but I didn't mind at all. This episode, they didn't show us Silo 18 present, they didn't show what is happening, because imagine people over there, they saw Juliet leaves, she walks out and she's alive and she's fine and she didn't clean. This is rebellious spirit, and I really want to see what is going on in the Silo 18 right now. But I think it was really wise choice from the showrunners to separate this, to give that pause, just let us to see story about Juliet and just be with her, because I need to admit right now Juliet's story more interesting to me than whatever is going. They can just fight with each other, they can kill, reveal secrets or bury secrets. I don't care right now about them. I want to know what is going on with the Juliet. This is, and I'm glad they gave me whole episode around her. And I'm fine it took time, because it's fine. It really gave me that she didn't solve like that. She didn't turn on God mode and fixed everything. It's just everything fallen in front of her. I like how they show mistakes what she made. I like how she progressed to that. I love that one. This episode made me sit on the edge of my chair. It made it such a nail-biting scenes. It was so good, and the atmosphere. You feel the rust. You feel the dust. You see her broken, like that protection when she need to break that glass. I was so scared she's going to break it and just maybe stab her in the eye. When she poured this old dirty water on herself in attempt, just maybe she knows something's going on outside. She doesn't know what exactly, but if maybe in attempt to wash off, maybe it's radiation, just wash off something. I don't know if you can wash it off just with the water, old stale water, but she was thinking like at least this than nothing. And when she was trying to get out of this clothes, I always felt the same, almost like I'm trying to catch my breath when she was doing that. The opening is so beautiful, the music. I actually stopped to see who made this music, because it's really reminded me Javan Ravadi, who did the music for HBO shows. By the way, he did the Fallout as well. He did Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, and of course the I thought like it will be a little bit symbolic. Here is Spiral Things, Westworld. I love that show. I did the review on every single episode. Every single episode. I have such a big community build up around that show on my main channel. And but it was not him, but really familiar. I felt like this melody could be in the same, like if you make like album of different the best soundtracks of the TV shows, it could easily be together with Westworld. Silo, love it. I really like how she started going through the rooms. She knows kind of how the silo built. It's so similar, and what she does, she go breaks the mirror, and she find out, yep, this world exactly same like mine. They was spying with the cameras. There was a people who was behind everything, and they was probably trying to keep everything in a secret. I love those cold tones with the color grading, where we have some kind of light coming in. It so warm. The ratio between light and shadows almost two extremes, but it gave us this feeling every time she wandering in the darkness, and every source of light gave her hope and calling her to come there. So I absolutely love that. And her walk through those halls and walking in the same time through the memory lane, it was absolutely perfect. The story, how she come in. Also need to give the praise to the actress who plays young Juliet. She was really good. You can believe that the girl who is 13 years old. You can believe that she is a child still inside when she saw the toy that she wants to fix it. It was really believable and relatable character, and them working on a belt, explaining about all this broken things, how they go to complete utilization, or something can be recycled, or something go to the walker. By the way, I think the walker such a interesting choice for the last name, because we know the Martha, she sits in her room, she kind of afraid to walk out for such a long time until she was able to get out for the Juliet. She found the water, she went to the garden, same like in her own silo. They was growing the apples at some time, but we saw the trees already old, and but the little bit of water still coming. And I'm glad she found those kind of sources. Um, all the dialogues what we see here, it's dialogues she having in her past, and that what helping her to move on in the present, like the story from Martha, how she'd been really sick, and look what they doing. This is one of those tricks that showrunners, the content makers, creators, movie creators, what they do. Um, you cannot reveal something just in the last moment. You need to leave some kind of clues along the way. It's almost like magician, right? What's happening? Magicians doesn't have magic. They just really fast with their hands. They just trying to get your attention with one hand, and they doing something with another. So in this dialogue, be like most of the audience will be remembering about her dream. She was sick and wake up at the night, call for the people, and she was alone, and kind of like, oh, now Juliet is alone, but she remembered how Martha was so afraid of this, but she was able to get over it. You just need to find some other people. It was just because it was 3 a.m., everyone was asleep, and there was nothing to be afraid of. But I think most interesting for me, the way they told about I had the pneumonia and they gave me antibiotics, penicillin, to fight with this infection. I think it's just like really simple, easy thing they mentioned, but it tells us in our world there is always, if there is a sickness, there is supposed to be antidote. It's to kill something living. Sometimes you need to have something else living to kill that. And that was, I thought it was such a good clue they placed it over here. So something that for the audience to keep in mind when we will continue watching. So I thought it was really clever to place that out there. And but also that if you're alone, don't be afraid. We see that she's trying in attempt to make up with the Shirley, gave her a gift because she was upset at her. She didn't wanted to go live with her and her dad and stayed with the Walker. And I love how their relationship build up. You see them adult and being best friends, almost like sisters, willing to die for each other. So to understand why they so close, we needed to see stories like that, where their friendship goes so many years back, and I love that. All those what she did with the rope, building the bridge, I think like, okay, if that would be me, I would fail miserably. And again, I'm not saying the engineers the best, but if we had the TV show about IT guy, more likely he will solve this problem in his own way. If that show was about the soldier, he probably would solve it other way. She solved it the way how she knows it works. So count it, put things together, maybe it failed a few times. Also with the rope, it was interesting. When she fall down, they show us the rope was scratching the um, wall, and it's still not clear to me why they show it for us. It's like because that rope got so old and not cannot be trusted, or did someone else over there run in and cut that rope, or it is because she was swaying back and forth, and it just rubbed off and snapped. So that's kind of interesting moment. When she got into the water, that was I also felt like I need to get the breath when she was finally was able to grab on something and get it out. Great scene, great knowing how much she's afraid of the water. We saw similar moment when she fall in silo 18. So, but George left her message, you shouldn't be worried about the water. I'm curious why. Maybe if you open the door, the water will go. I don't know. But one of the messages when the George left for her, you shouldn't be afraid of the water. But we know she is afraid of it. And even at some point, she was. You remember when they was trying to fix generator and she jumped in and tried to pour the water to keep the temperature lower. She almost drowned there. I thought maybe that helped her overcome the fear of the water. No, she's still afraid, but I'm expecting at some point, again, this is a storytelling, story building. If we saw the character afraid of something, at some point it was able to overcome. It's like in The Last of Us, we know there was Ellie. They was intentionally put us like, oh, I'm afraid of water, I'm afraid of water, I'm afraid of water. But at some point she needed to overcome that fear. So um, and again, she came back, changed the clothes. I like that way how she is progressing. We saw her moving forward with the fails, tries, and succession. She's like not everything laid down on the front of her. She's working on that. Like that story when her friend tells her that once they forgot me here and it was so dark and I needed to, there was no light, absolutely no light. And she needed to slowly walk forward until she get out, which is that message Juliet for Juliet right now. Maybe you in the darkness, you alone, you can't be scared. What else you gonna die? You just gonna die there? You need to go, move forward slowly, and that's what she's doing. Building up, making the bridge, failing on that. Now they show us the fan that's making the noise and the key flopping on it. Look, again, we watched way too many TV shows. We played way too many games. If you saw magnetic key shown like that, then it's going to be magnetic like lock where you need to put that key to open it up, and they show us. And if you see the door, locked door with the box with the red light, you know at some point that red light going to turn into the green light. Anyone who did at least a single quest in a computer game, everyone is just like, okay, grab that key and take it with you, you know. But some of you might have a question: how come they have electricity generator flooded? I have explanation. I don't know if it's correct or not, but I'm going to lay it down for you and tell me what you think if I have something. If my educated guess, whole episode, whole review we can call educated guesses from Twister. So my educated guess, again, when they trying to stop generator in silo 18, right, they said they have some kind of battery or where electricity is stored. that if they need it, they can use it for like as a backup battery, right? And if you need to support whole freaking silo, they said it's going to run out in some amount of hours. But if we talking about generator done and so many people is out of the silo and they shut down most of everything in just in the one little section, electricity still going, I think that person can live on that charge for years and years and years and years. And the ventilation could still work, and maybe some water filtration can still work. So my prediction is because that even if generators stopped, they still have that backup energy they still use. Or maybe they all the generators has connection to other silos, and maybe they somehow get a little bit backup electricity from your neighbors. I don't know how it works, and again, hopefully they will explain us later. Okay, but she stopped the fan. It's like, let's save electricity. I sound like myself when I talk to my children. So, and yeah, she built up another bridge trying to get out. I thought it was so funny, beautiful, and innovative. But suddenly she heard the music. And the music is Moon River. Again, being a film school major, I watched so many movies during my classes through my film school critique sessions. I cannot say I love absolutely single movie that I watch. No, sometimes you watch it, you know what movie to appreciate for, and at least you get cultural reference. That's the case with this song Moon River from Breakfast at Tiffany. This is not my. I know for so many people they take offensive when you say like, sorry, I don't like Breakfast at Tiffany. I think the guy was a tool. I think she was a gold digger, and I'm like, I don't get it. It's like not my story, and I do not want to even talk about the neighbor guy who they made so stereotypical Asian. Again, I know in the 60s that was the time. Again, maybe in the 20, 30 years, someone going to watch the movies we making today and they will roll their eyes. But I'm happy I saw this movie, even if it just for this cultural reference that I'm making in this episode breakdown. Because in the movie, if you didn't saw, while she was playing the song Moon River, sitting in an open window, uh, another important character, love interest in this movie, he hear this song and he comes on the voice of this song, on sound of this song, and that's how they meet. And I thought it was so clever and interesting how they use this song that connect two characters in the Breakfast at Tiffany. It connects Juliet and Solo. Maybe there is no romantic involvement going to be with them, but whole point of connecting them together with this song, I thought it was really cool. If you thought it was cool, you can write it down in the comments and I will know you at least watch to this point. You can say, Twister, thank you so much for Breakfast at Tiffany. And I will be so happy. And also, YouTube algorithms, they loved it when you put likes, leaving comments, sharing with your friends. So do that. And it's always boost my little bit self-esteem and motivate me to come and make another review. So she come and to walking on that music, and she saw two people in there, but they look so small, which is make me think, or is it kids, or some kind of mutation start happening, and people malnutrition. They do not have some food. That's why they cannot grow. I don't know. But she saw two bodies, which is not outside, but over here. And I don't know, or did they die together, or it's just a place where someone dies behind the door with the light to not take them outside, not even throw them into the water that will make water spoil. They just getting outside and left over here. So I guess we will find out the story of those two mysterious bodies over here. Okay, we talked about this, and when Juliet tried to open the door, the guy who named in the credits Solo, he is like, "Oh, you heard my music." He again, for some reason, I'm thinking he intentionally played that music. He did want to get her, but he's saying, if you're gonna try, you saw the closed door and you want to open it, but let me tell you, if you're going to try to open this door, I'm gonna kill you. And that's freaking scary. Yeah. And they end episode on this. Such a cliffhanger. And it's like, okay, Juliet, what are you going to do? Of course, we can predict she's gonna grab the key, come back, but maybe she's gonna wait until he is less suspicious. And if someone left that key on a fan, maybe they meant it for someone to find that, especially to make that rattling sound. So in theater there is a thing called Chekhov's gun. I don't know if you heard that expression or not, because it's from Russian theater. The meaning is, if you saw a rifle on a stage or gun on a stage in the beginning of the play, that's mean it's going to someone going to use that to shoot in sometimes by the end of that play. So showing us that key, making the sound, some kind of, I would say, Chekhov's key, and let's wait how it's going to play out. And okay, thank you so much for listening to me, finding the time in your busy schedule to see it and spend time with me. Hopefully you love watching the shows. I hope you love talking to someone about those shows, or at least listening someone with the accent breaking down the stories. I'm going to looking forward for your comments and hopefully continue discussion there. Thank you so much for your time. Bye bye.